Today I'll be talking about how Ford was essentially forced by the US government into spending $700 million in designing the best mini truck ever known to existence. You see, I believe it's American nature to be drawn to larger vehicles. Big, wide open roads, driving alongside large 18-wheelers. You want to tower above the rest. Well, some do at least. And when they do it, it scares all the other people in their small cars as they tower past. So they want to get a bigger, taller vehicle as well so they can stop feeling bullied on the road. Now everyone's driving in the same size car, so the bro that got that big truck to stand out doesn't stand out anymore, so he gets a bigger truck. And the cycle continues. In this land of excess, large luxury vehicles are all the rage. It's a way to show you're rich and bougie, but you worked hard for it, damn it, these hands aren't soft. But in all honesty, the only benefit I see to a truck like this is towing capacity. And I know everyone's got to tow shit, but no, you don't. I mean, let's be real, your 2010 Tacoma can handle that pop-up camper. Come on now. I see TikToks of Audi wagons towing cars and shit, Astro vans, shit like that. I think the biggest tell is European tow rigs. They know how to get shit done over there. And not just Europe, all over the globe. You can go and pay attention to what's doing the work. Only in America we need a full-size pickup truck and truck-based SUVs. And I admit, it's a fad that will end when it's either replaced with the new next big thing or an economic/energy resource issue forces us all to downsize. We never know what we had until it's gone, as the case for the mini truck. You see, we played around with this idea on our own before. Well, we saw what was doing to work around the world, and we played with van-based trucks, car-based trucks. And to everyone's credit, it was a little different. A base full-size truck of the 60s is tiny, like my head's touching the roof. I gotta stretch my leg under the wheel to even get in it. And they even sold heavy-duty full-size trucks like dualies and shit, like 3500s with straight sixes in it. So, you know, not quite like the market of today, but hey. Blah, blah, old crisis, old smices. I already did that if you want to watch it. But as you already know, this introduced import cars to America and little import trucks, along with a market of people wanting to buy these little 4-cylinder, 4-speed trucks that howl like dying rabbits at 70 miles an hour. But hey, did they get some work done?
Overhead cam and 4-speed sticker hauling these plants ain't no trick. Me and my Datsuns don't waste no time, just keep on moving on down the line.
The economy and energy crisis made it to where people needed these trucks, and as they bought them, they found out it did everything they needed it to. Ford, of course, had a problem with this, but being Ford, they were too lazy to do anything about it themselves. Time to call up their buddies at Mazda and politely ask for their B-Series truck. In all seriousness, this was a mutually beneficial thing because Mazda got to sell their B-Series trucks in America under Ford's name, and Ford got to get a foothold in this new growing market of small trucks. Not that it would matter. Side note, funnily enough, this was about the same time the full-size trucks started getting bigger. Very marginally at first, and it would have been all cool if we still had simple workhorses, but the closest thing today is a Ford Maverick, and well, that's just not good enough for me. So Ford was filling out where do you see yourself in 10 years for funsies, and it was not looking good. You see, in 76, they predicted that in order to comply with CAFE laws set up to drop in 85, 50% of the trucks they sold would have to be 4-cylinders. They currently made up 5% of the market share, essentially meaning they'd have to sell 1 million of these little guys a year. About damn time to start making something worth buying then, huh? They focused on making a truck as lightweight and as fuel efficient as possible, with a drag coefficient better than the Mustangs of the time, only to be bested by 0.01 with the next generation Mustang. Wow! Also fitting 3 people, or 2 Americans if you will. Legroom for 6-foot people, which is a lie. They just lied on that one, and a place to ash your giant stogie. They utilized strong lightweight metals where they could, like a Lotus, including a magnesium clutch housing, aluminum transfer case for 4-wheel drive, and a magnesium clutch/brake pedal bracket. The first 1983 Rangers hit the showrooms March of '82. to beat the S10 in the market, with a price tag of around $20K in today's money. And if you spec'd out for the 4-wheel drive with the big motor, you could get the same payload capacity as a full-sized F100. The first gen had many 4-cylinder options, a 3-liter Vulcan V6 from Mazda, and even a Perkins diesel. In 1990, the Holy Grail Cologne V6 was introduced. Side note, I pegged the temps on one straight for a week, put a new thermostat in it, never had any problems. That's how I learned if you drive at 45, it'll bring the temp gauge from all the way to like 3/4. I don't know, some sketchy shit. They originally came standard with 4 speeds, but then switched to a Mazda Source 5-speed. They also did one with a Mitsubishi turbo diesel. My magnum opus is the 2nd gen Ranger. Everyone has some fucked up memories in or near the vicinity of one of these. I got a lot. I learned how to float gears in one when my clutch went out. I learned how to hit dabs while driving in one of these. I learned true fear in the bed of one of these as my friend tried to drift down a mountainous dirt road. My friend learned it could eat a fire hydrant and just need some JB weld on a transmission line. I mean, hell, there's countless videos of people almost dying in one. It's great. The underneath stayed the same for the most part. A lot of the engine options were cut out, and all that remained was the Lima 2.3, the Vulcan 3-liter, and the Cologne 4-liter, which is all you need. Ford just knew these were the best things since whole loaves of bread. No longer do you have to force all the crumbs into a slice. You can just cut one off yourself. But that body. Oh, that sexy, sleek body. Wow, was she nice. Also, they had a step side on a mini truck for the first time, which were made of fiberglass. I would do things for an extended cab 4-liter rear-wheel drive 5-speed. I don't care step side or not. Like, I would murder someone slowly with a slightly pointed stick, drag their body behind the Chili's on Melrose Avenue. If you start by the back dumpster, take 50 paces straight and 35 paces to the left, and 1998 was the introduction of the 3rd gen Ranger, and as far as I'm concerned, that's the last Ranger that came into America. Fuck that other bullshit. This got a redesigned, partially boxed frame replacing the C-channels, coil springs, and a steering rack replacing the twin I-beams and steering box. I think these are a lot uglier than the 2nd gens, but are still good trucks. I mean, my dad bought one new in '99. He had a 3-liter 5-speed. It was solid. His was step side, and that fiberglass bed is a lot stronger than you think, I gotta say. The Lima 2.3 got stroked out to a 2.5, and the 4-liter even got an overhead cam. But, as all great things, the mighty Ford Ranger came to an end. Story about how Ford was essentially forced into spending $700 million on designing the best mini truck. No, truck to grace us with its presence. Nah, I'm kidding. They still made them. They just made better versions of them in like South America. They got crew cabs. They got diesels, bruh. It was lit. They was having a grand old time. But eventually, you know my rule. If you watched my other videos, you would know my rule. Around 2010, everything starts to get shit. And they still made 3rd gens up until 2012 with just, slightly reworked bodywork. But eventually the Ranger got redesigned and made its way back. And I'm not feeling it. It's not for me, bro. It's too big. It's too bulky. It's too masculine. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, not everything has to be a bro. Like, sometimes we just want to chill. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I'm definitely not trying to bullshit for 20 seconds. Don't think that. But if you would like to see any more of this, do something about it, I guess. I don't know. Like, I think that's up to you. I'm probably going to do it anyways. Love you.
Bro, this shit just happened. I didn't even click anything, bro. This is just happening, bro. What the fuck, man? I'm watching a whole ass movie right now. Some fucking Western. Yo, does your Ford Ranger play a Western for you? That's what I thought.